Starfleet Academy. What a train wreck. I mean, it is unloved by everybody. And I mean, rightfully so. This is like one of these TV shows that like, if you remember when The Acolyte aired, you were like, is this the show? Is this the show? Really? I think Section 31 is better than this thing. I mean, I really do. I think Section 31, Section 31 is better than Starfleet Academy. I mean, Starfleet Academy, Blood Origin is the only equivalent that I could really say. Oh, that Robin Hood show. Remember that Robin Hood show? Robin Hood? 2 years ago? That one. I'd even put Velma. I'd put Velma ahead of this. Velma, I mean, Velma was woke, but it was palatable. I mean, as far as woke stuff goes, you know, it was palatable. I mean, there's nothing good about that to say. Well, the show was palatable. It was, oh yeah. Did you like it? Well, it was palatable. I mean, that's really, you're saying it's like a 2 or a 3, right? It's pretty bad. It's a pretty bad show. So, yeah, and there's, I mean, that if there is a, like, it goes to extreme lengths. I guess, I mean, that's going to be our first topic, right? We'll talk about, we're going to take a look at the One Piece trailer. We're going to take a look at the Masters of the Universe trailer. I got a few thoughts on that. We're also going to take a look at the Razzies. The Razzie Awards are out. The thing about the Razzie Awards, it's all the worst movies. And all of these movies are basically the movies that you haven't seen, right? I mean, that's basically it. I mean, they're so bad. Why would you go see these movies? They're so bad. Basically, no one has seen these movies. So you're reading off a list to say, who's seen these? Section 31. I mean, I think Section 31's on there a few times. So it's deservedly in there as one of the definite winners. It's probably gonna take a few, few of the awards. Take a few of the awards for sure. What is, sorry, excuse me here. We have, is that going, something's wrong with my, I don't know, that's, oh, I see what's wrong. Is it that? I don't know. Excuse me. And the Razzies. So we're going to do the Razzies. These go to the names. Who's up for Sly Stallone's in there and his daughter. Oh no, the family. The family's coming in to get some Razzies. I wonder if they're going to show up to the ceremonies. I'd like to thank you, Adrian. I'd like to thank here's what some of the people I want to thank today. I don't know if you guys watch Tulsa King. Not a big fan. It's pretty cliche. I mean, it's not bad for TV, but I do find the Tulsa King, look, the first episode of Tulsa King kind of turned me off. The only way that they could resolve anything was, I'll go beat you up. I'll go visit. I'll go beat him up. You could be a little bit more thoughtful. And, as a screenwriter myself, you could be a little bit more thoughtful on how you create some of these things. So Tulsa, there's a lot of weakness in Tulsa King. There really is. Is it entertaining? Yes. Entertaining than most shows? Yes. But I'm not a big fan of Tulsa King. Landman, I like Landman is good. Good. You know what I've been watching? The Expanse. I've been watching. I didn't get to the whole series back when it came out, but I've been watching The Expanse. And I'm like, look, if you guys want good sci-fi, The Expanse, revisit The Expanse, or if you haven't watched The Expanse, mark that down. The Expanse is good TV sci-fi. It really is good TV sci-fi. I think I'm into almost through the first season. It's good storytelling, good dialogue, good characters, good casting. I mean, it deserves. I think it's like an 8.5 on IMDb, and deserves it. It deserves a good score because it's a really good TV show, really good show. So anyway, Starfleet Academy. I think one of the things, when I look at it from a screenwriting perspective, Starfleet Academy, from a pure screenwriting perspective, it's a first off, the episode, it has no meaning, right? It seems it's only there to pass judgment on people. It's only there to pass judgment on the sexes. You know which one I'm talking about. I mean, there's enough girl bosses in this thing that makes you want to kind of, I mean, it is horrifically bad to the point where I think even most half decent minded feminists would say, okay, that's, it's probably going a little too far here, right? A little bit too far. So, it's a show that has very little, like right off the bat, you have this workout scene where someone who the Jedediah female, which obviously cannot exist in the Star Trek universe, let alone 1,000 years later, let alone I think she's mated with a Klingon. I mean, what is that? What are you? What? Seriously? But she's forcing everyone to work out, right? Everyone's got to work out. And she's like the heaviest, least fit person, and she's like the drill instructor, right? Looks good. And she's just angry. I mean, she has literally, it's a character with no redeeming qualities. And that's the way this whole thing starts. It starts bad, it ends bad. It ends with male submission, and it starts with male submission. In between there, it is all about male submission. And one of the funniest things is when the dude comes out, what's his name? I don't even know the guys. I keep forgetting the names. The guy, the lizard face, he turns into the lizard guy. Somehow he's a shapeshifter. And he comes out, and I think, what is that? That is at the 2-minute mark, and he comes out and she bumps into her in the hallway, and she's already done. I think she's basically finished her workout. It's like, sleepy boy. Everything is about that, and it's some of the very poor storytelling. $20 million per episode. There's nothing there that makes you go, yeah, that's I see where you spent the 20 million bucks. I can see where you spent 20 million. I got it. It's obvious. Yeah, I see the 20 million. $20 million. Now you watch a show like Game of Thrones, they were getting about 10 million. I think in the final episode they're up to 15 million maybe. Now, of course, inflation and things like that. But still, Game of Thrones it's only kicking around $10 million. And I think it was down to $5 or $8 million for the earlier episodes. I mean, these producers, I don't know where they spend their money. Like, you don't see it on the screen. You don't see it on the screen. And these are all new faces. I mean, there's a few. I mean, they're not high-priced actors. Holly Hunter and the other one. I mean, they can't be that price. Like Michelle Yeoh got what, 12 million? 12 million for Section 31. Well, I don't think there's any $12 million people in this. If they are, they overpaid. Way overpaid, right? So I don't know where. I mean, you take a look at the laser tag sets, right? The laser tag sets were absolutely. I have a friend who has a laser a paintball place. They could have got that thing for $50,000 a month for 2 weeks easily. So I don't know. So that whole Tron thing, the whole laser tag thing, what they were trying to do and where they were trying to go with it. I mean, it's just really bad story. It had nowhere. This episode had nowhere to go. It only exists to show how much better women are than men. That's really, if there's anything else you could have got from this episode, I don't know. And maybe feet are sexy. if you have a foot fetish, this episode gave you a little bit of that, right? It ain't Star Trek, baby. It ain't Star Trek. So, and I think that's probably one of the big things about Star Trek, this Starfleet Academy, is it's so off base with Star Trek, right? There's nothing that takes it and ties it back into Star Trek except by name only. And it's one of these things where, you go through and you try and understand the whole reason. Why did they make this? Like Alec Kurtzman, the guy who was in charge of Star Trek. It makes you wonder, what makes you believe that the money you just spent has just helped this franchise? Right? What have you done that you believe has helped this franchise by putting this Starfleet Academy out? Episode 3 is episode 1 was bad. I think episode 2 was worse, and now episode 3 is even just that much worse. And we're heading into episode 4. Hey, Robbie. Oi, Robbie. Talking Starfleet Academy. Starfleet Academy. So, it's Thursday, every Thursday night. So we're going to go live right after the show on Thursday night. And we'll see what Alex Kurtzman delivers us. It's not going to be good. From everything we see, it's not going to be good. Definitely not going to be good. The overall tone, if you take a look at the tone, there's no Star Trek tone. There's nothing in there. There's no world building that is Star Trek. They tried to put it out 1,000 years later, after in the Star Trek universe, 1,000 years later. So I don't know what the reasoning is for that. 1,000 years. You're gonna think 1,000 years. That was when what's his name, the Normandy guy invaded England, right? 1,000 years ago, or 1,000 years into the future. They're remaking canon from 1,000 years after Captain Kirk. I don't know if that I guess that's an easy way to erase the entire series if it doesn't work, and it is not working, right? This is going to have to be erased. This entire. If David Ellison, who is now the owner of Star Trek by virtue of purchase of Paramount, if he doesn't want to do anything, or if he doesn't do anything after what Alex Kurtzman is doing to one of his treasured properties, if you don't do anything over that and you just let it happen the way it is, you deserve to lose Star Trek. You've already lost most of the fans. Most of the fans are gone. Starfleet Academy is going to ensure that whatever's left is not, and they're not coming back, or very few are. Where you're going to get a whole bunch of Melrose Place, people that love Melrose Place. Now they're coming in. They're going to come in and supplant the real Star Trek lovers, Melrose Place lovers, right? Great idea. That's a great marketing. Alex Kurtzman, that was a great marketing idea. Let's get rid of the Star Trek fans, and then we'll move in the Melrose Place, the MTV World fans. I'm sure they'll love Star Trek. It's just bad. The acting is bad. Everything. It's just. The whole thing with the flower in the 3rd episode, and which basically became a plot device so that the 3rd act can happen, where the flower turns into some, it grows in like 2 minutes, it takes over the entire floor. It's like, well, geez, that seems to be a pretty big problem, but it seemed like a laughing gag to everyone at the bottom. But of course, at the end, the male guy at the War College, whatever his name is, the dude, he submits to the, female power, and it becomes, that is basically the whole episode, right? There's not much there. It's a sad TV show. That's all you can say. From a screenwriting perspective, I don't know how these people get their jobs. I've been screenwriting. I've won many awards. Even my friends, I spent 20 years in Los Angeles. We all talk. How do these people get their jobs? We're just dumbfounded. A lot of us have written, multiple screenplays that with, multiple award winners. But somehow these people just, it's like they know they're right. They're like activists. They know that they're activist writers, and so they get in. It doesn't make much sense, but It is what it is. That's what it is. And so when it comes to Starfleet Academy, I doubt that episode 4 is going to give us anything close to something that's palatable. If it's following the same trend, it's going to be one step lower. It's going to be hard to get as low as episode 3. Episode 3 was literally some of the worst TV you can ever find on TV. It is bad. And there's no other way to put it. It is bad. That's bad TV. $20 million an episode. You watch that. You watch episode 3, and you tell me if you can see $20 million on that production set. I've been with production sets. I mean, I know. Like, I look at the sets and I think, where did you spend $20 million? I don't know. Even the people I know in Los Angeles, the people that are that are they're in production. That was their gig. You ask them, like, where was it? The $20 million is on that screen. No one can say. No one knows. Hey, if I was David Ellison, I would have made the move already. I would have walked down. At least after episode 3, I would have made the move. But look, it's his. He's the one it's his property, and they want to destroy Star Trek. Go ahead. You're doing a fantastic job destroying that franchise. Yes. Well done. Well done. So we're talking about the Razzie Awards. Did you guys see the Razzie Awards? Yeah. So the Razzies, and the great thing about the Razzies is, it's a whole bunch of movies. It's the worst of the worst movies. The worst of the worst. So how many people could have actually seen these movies? That's the question, right? How many people could have actually seen? I watched Section 31. That's about the only one that I've seen. But let me see if I can. Let me get this up here. Where are the Razzies? There we go. There we go. Oh, I gotta share it. Okay, no problem. No problem. That's cool. Share screen, Razzie nominations. So there we go. The Razzies. Let me see if I can clean this up here. Oh man, not really gonna let me. Hey, is that okay? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. So the Razzie Awards. Yeah. The Razzie Awards are in play. The winners of the 46th annual Razzies will be unveiled on March 14th, 2026. See the full nominations list below. Worst picture, The Electric State. Now, the interesting thing about The Electric State, is the Russo brothers. They did that with Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown. And they're also doing the new Doomsday. So here they go. They make one of the worst movies of the year. And then they get Doomsday. $750 million movie. And now they're up for a Razzie Award. I mean, it doesn't... You couldn't even, if you wrote that as a screenwriter, no one would believe it, but it's true. Hurry Up Tomorrow. I'm not sure. Snow White. You know Snow White. We all know Snow White. Star Trek Section 31. That was pretty bad. I mean, again, Star Trek going down the toilet. And War of the Worlds 2025. I haven't seen that. Some people said they kind of enjoyed it. Worst actor, Dave Bautista, and he was talking about how he wanted to do more serious roles and he wanted to come in and do stuff that's more, well, in the Lost Lands, he's up there for the worst actor for the Razzie Awards. And if you guys don't know, Razzie Awards are about the worst, right? It's about the worst movie, the worst actor, the worst supporting actors, the worst of everything. Ice Cube for War of the Worlds. And again, I know people that actually liked it. It was so bad. And you can have that, right? You can have it so bad that people actually enjoy it. Scott Eastwood for Alarum. Jared Leto for Tron, very well deserved. Abel the Weekend, Hurry Up Tomorrow. And then the worst actress, we have Ariana DeBose, Love Hurts. Mila Jovovich, which is kind of sad. You know, I like Mila Jovovich, I do. In The Lost Lands, Natalie Portman, Fountain of Youth. Natalie's in there. Rebel Wilson. And of course, we got Michelle Yeoh for Star Trek. She got 12 million bucks. So she's okay, right? She's okay. Worst remake ripoff of a sequel. I know what you did last summer. Five Nights at Freddy's. Some people like that. People who are into Five Nights at Freddy's like that movie. They did. They really liked it. I didn't really like the first one, but I guess you gotta like the video game, right? Smurfs, Snow White, oh, of course, well deserved, and War of the Worlds. Worst supporting actor. All 7 artificial dwarfs. All 7 of them. Nicolas Cage for Gunslingers, Stephen Dorff for Brideheart, Greg Kinnear off the grid, Sylvester Stallone for Alarum. Worst screen combo, all 7 dwarves, Snow White, James Corden and Rihanna. Congratulations. I mean, that's kind of an unassuming combo. Hey, Teresa, how you doing? Where are we here? James Corden, Ice Cube and his Zoom camera. Robert De Niro in The Alto Knights. Congratulations, Robert. Again, probably well deserved. The Weeknd and his colossal ego. Hurry Up Tomorrow. Yeah, that's again. These are give it up for that. Absolutely, that's most of these are well deserved. Worst director, Rich Lee, War of the Worlds. Section 31, Otunde Osanami. The Russo brothers. There you go. I think that's like a $300 million movie with marketing and everything. The Electric State. I mean, that was a big loser. Trey Edward Schultz, Hurry Up Tomorrow. Mark Webb, Snow White. And worst screenplay, The Electric State, Hurry Up Tomorrow, Snow White, Section 31, Star Trek, and War of the Worlds. That is that. The Razzie Awards, those are on. When are the Razzie Awards? What? I forgot. That's right at the beginning. They are. We will know for the 46th edition. We will know. When are the awards? I wonder. I don't think very people show up. You get. I mean, March 14th. You know what? Also is March 14th. March 14th has a lot going on. That is the day that 3i Atlas is the closest to the planet Jupiter. Closest to the planet Jupiter. So you better watch out. March 14th, the Razzies. The Razzies. Oh, yeah. Yep. So, 2026 is actually going to be what it's looking like it's not going to be not too bad of a year for movies. There's obviously, way out in the end, it's Doomsday. There's a lot of movies in between. Spider-Man, what is Supergirl? The Hail Mary. There's a whole bunch of really good movies. He-Man, or should be Masters of the Universe, and for TV, One Piece. Now we'll do One Piece first. And I watched the first season. I know people that loved One Piece, absolutely loved it. I was not a big fan. To me, it was like a 6.5. I think maybe you have to be into that anime kind of a style of TV show, movie, or maybe I'm too old for it. It doesn't. But I do know people that are my age that loved it, right? One Piece, and they just got the new trailer out, the new trailer for One Piece, and I mean, I got a few comments on it. I'm not sure if it's the strongest trailer. For me, watching the trailer, it looked like a lot of the the sets looked soap opera-ish. They looked studio lighting. It looked the first one felt, now this is only a trailer, so it's really hard to tell. It's really hard to know. Let me put the trailer up. Where are we here? Video file. One Piece. Oh,
At first they were million.
So I think how's the volume? I think actually my volume might be a little bit too high. Let me just turn that down a little bit. So this is One Piece. I don't know, like I say, I don't know if you guys like the first season or not. I was kind of like in between, kind of yes, no, maybe. But this is the trailer for One Piece, season 2.
A rumor. A dark whisper. They are Baroque works.
They're an organization.
I mean, to me, that little display of characters, it looked like a weak sort of, I don't know in what direction they're trying to go with it. And maybe it is as a screenwriter and a writer, I don't understand this genre. But for me, it's missing the mark.
Of assassins.
It's the absence of hope. You will never find the One Piece.
My friends. Together.
You know, that slingshot, the whole slingshot thing is like, it's in so many movies, right? I mean, you had one in Stranger Things. You had one in, what was the other one that was just recently in Slingshot? Like, okay, slingshots and everything. Like, yeah, it's, but if you take a look at some of the sets look pretty weak, especially the ones indoors in studio. And the budgets on this one were pretty big.
There's nothing we can't take on.
So you're a captain of the Straw Hat Pirates? Monkey D. Luffy. You might think you're unstoppable, but your friends aren't made of rubber.
I mean, some of the effects look pretty good, right? Going down the river with, you know, what the rubber arms. Some of the effects look pretty good. Not bad. But overall, I'm trying, like, it's really hard to get anything substantive from a trailer, right? But overall from this trailer, the One Piece thing, it's not feeling, it feels weak.
You've got to be.
Hey, Pamela.
These guys are unstoppable!
I mean, okay, that one, stop it there. That is, I mean, you know, I'm gonna look, if people do like this, it's almost like I do have to chalk this down to some degree. That am I too old for this? Do I not understand this genre? Is this like a new genre that is, or have they just gone too far and this is feeling as bad as it feels? We're doing the One Piece. I don't know if you know, if you watched season 1, but the One Piece, I mean, the guns and the hair, it seems like it gets worse through the trailer.
Now's my turn.
Good luck.
March 10th on Netflix. So that is, that's One Piece. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't like it. I mean, honestly, I have no desire to watch season 2 of One Piece. That does not give me any desire to watch season 2. Nothing, none. It's kind of weak. It feels weak. Like some of the studio sets feel weak, soap opera style, like the lighting and everything. Some of the contraptions that they're using. like I could be wrong, but I know people that really like the first season of One Piece, and they're a little not happy with this trailer. Hard to tell for one trailer, but this is not showing. I hope it's not showing their best side, because if this is the best side of One Piece season 2, they're in trouble. You never heard of One Piece. The first season was okay. I know people that liked it. They are like, it has like an 8 point something, 8.5, 8.2, 8.3, something like that on IMDb. It's a pretty high score. Like, but to get above 8 is really hard on IMDb. But I mean, this one, I don't know. It's not. I what I see from the trailer, I have no desire to watch season 2. No desire. But I could be wrong. We don't know until it comes out. Maybe they have a second trailer. A lot of times what they do when they come out with the first trailer, they get a lot of feedback, and then they come out and then they do a better second trailer that's maybe more exemplatory of what they've done. But especially TV, you need that hype going in, right? You need that big choo-choo train of hype going into it. And if it's a bad trailer, you don't get much hype out of it. So I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see where that goes. It's a like I say, I'm not big on it. So now, Masters of the Universe. This one just came out. It is fantasy. I mean, it's an 80s fantasy. If you grew up in the 80s, or like I did, I graduated in the 80s. I was never a big Masters of the Universe fan. I watched a little bit of it. There's other cartoons that were on TV, so I did watch a little bit of Masters of the Universe. I understand the character. I understand the protagonist, the antagonist from a writing perspective, and everything like that. For the most part, I'm okay with this trailer, but there are some things that, let's say the lead actor, the guy that's playing He-Man, he feels a little spongy to me. If I was the director, it'd be kind of like, dude, I think you're not doing the Hugh Jackman, right? He doesn't have the Hugh Jackman body. It feels a little soft. Now I could be wrong. Maybe it's just what I've seen. I've seen it in wrong angles or something like that. He does look like he fits the role, fits the part. But here it is.
Stuff that only exists in legends and bedtime stories. Talking tigers, spaceships, and magic swords that can make a man as mighty as a god. Where I come from, that stuff is real.
One thing I will give this, the scenery, it almost looks like what's Asgard, right? With Thor, looks a lot like Asgard. Looks very Avengers like, that sort of a feel. As a matter of fact, that's what I thought it looked like. It looks like Asgard. It has that same feel, the same tone, all that sort of so that does look good. So the scenery looks good. Looks like their world building might be okay.
Why did you send me away?
I wanted you to be safe. So I sent you to a place I knew that they'd never find you. There's...
This obsession with nerd stuff and sword things, it's not a good look for human resources.
I know it sounds crazy, but that sword...
So the dude looks pretty good. Like he has that kind of look, Probably if he would have held out for a few more years, he might have been in the running for the Thor when what's his name bows out and says, "I'm done with Thor," Chris Hemsworth. So he's got that blonde locks, that kind of, that he's got a good look. But he doesn't have that Chris Hemsworth body, that real, that chunky, chunky muscular kind of a look. But again, I mean, these trailers are so hard to nail down. Well, there's going to be a good movie or not.
Sir, you can't do that.
Don't worry. The sword's mine.
Hang on, it's about to get weird.
So I don't know much about the lore. Like I'm not a guy that was deep into the lore, deep in the canon, or deep into understanding what the whole Masters of the Universe idiom was all about. But like I'm on the fence in this one. Parts of it look okay, but then there's other parts that make you go, man. I don't know. What's the budget? What's the budget on this thing? That's usually Masters of the Universe budget. Oh, 200 million. Oh, man. That's good. So with marketing, you're looking at 600 million. Sharing with the studio, or 300 million, double it up at $600 million at the box office just to break even. Usually the budgets are higher. So I would say 650 to 700 million to break even. That's a lot of money in today's world of cinema.
What am I supposed to do? Take the sword. You protect them.
Idris Elba is kind of like, well, he played what's his name in I can't remember his name in the Avengers, right? It almost seems like an exact same role. I can't remember his character's name. In IMDb.com. I should have had a punch. Usually I have the IMDb's punched up. Oh my God, I had no idea Jared Leto was playing Skeletor. Really? Man at Arms, Idris Elba. Man at Arms. Did I? Let me. Yeah, so I didn't know Jared Leto was Skeletor. Shit. How far Bjornsson is in it? That's the mountain. He's the goat man. So I don't know. Geez, that's honestly, with the kind of budget that they have, it's gonna be tough. I mean, the fighting looked pretty good. Looks like he obviously took some sword lessons. I took a couple years of kendo in my earlier years, but he looked like, looked like some of the sword fighting might be good. I mean, basically in a trailer, you're trying to show parts of what your movie is. You got to showcase what you got. There's people in Hollywood, after spending 20 years in Hollywood myself, there's people in Hollywood, that's all they do. That's all they do is make trailers. They will make trailers, and they get paid big bucks to make trailers. Big bucks. A good trailer will sell your movie, even a bad movie. But again, there's so many times we go see a movie and it's, well, the trailer showed the best parts of the movie and we leave disappointed. So that happens a lot, right? So a good trailer, the only thing that sells a good movie is a good movie at the end of the day. That really is the bottom line. He does. He does. That's Jared Leto. Really? Jared? June 5th. So there you go. That is One Piece, and that is Masters of the Universe. So hard to tell from a trailer. I would say, it's hard for me to fathom that there's that many Masters of the Universe fans that are going to go out there and spend money to make that thing profitable. Master of the Universe is going to have to rely heavily on normies, people that have just basically kind of heard of it. Maybe they watched it growing up. They're going to have to rely on that group of fans that, a lot like me, that know about it, watched the cartoon back in the 80s, aren't particularly heavy into the canon or the lore. I think a lot of people have forgotten it. It's been out of the zeitgeist for so long. So I don't know, for a movie like that to pull $600-700 million out of the box office in today's climate. I mean, it's a really bad. I mean, I spent 20 years in Los Angeles. I know people I know a lot of people in Los Angeles that they are not doing well. They've moved out of Los Angeles. I keep going blurry. I think I know. This is a new black shirt, and it's the first time I've worn it. And I think against I gotta get a new chair though. That's probably what it. And I keep going out of focus. Drive me crazy. Saturday night. POPRAGEOUS live. It's Saturday night. So One Piece. I don't know if there's like One Piece fans. Again, I thought the first season was okay. It was one of those things where I couldn't wait for the next episode to drop. And season 2 does not look any better. Season 2 of One Piece does not look any better. It looks corny. I mean, that's, put it simply, it looks corny. It looks like a weak attempt to try and put some of the, a lot of times when you put these TV shows together, especially like One Piece, a lot of the good ideas from the writers, they go into the first season and they're gone. I mean, they're gone after that. And then they start making things up, or they start doing things because they've had some success, and that success breeds hubris. And with that hubris, and I know as a screenwriter and a writer, you see it all the time in Hollywood. You get one good winning screenplay or one good winning movie, you think, oh, okay, I've made it. I'm good. I can do it. Well, you know what? Probably the more important one is your second movie, right? Your sophomore one. And I've seen so many people. I've never sold any of my screenplays. I've never sold any. I've had offers to option them. I've never sold them. I never sold my TV pilots, full episodes, seasons. Even in one TV, I think I have like 3 seasons written. And it's my most winning TV script. So, but right now, Hollywood is all about failing upwards, right? If you fail, it's like, Bob Iger's asking, how much can, what can you lose me? So I can lose you $1 billion. You're in for 2 movies. It's like, if you can lose, if you can lose us. And even Doomsday, I'll even say, Doomsday. The sad thing about Doomsday, and you could say, well, you know what? They're pulling out all the stops for Doomsday. They're putting the money into it. They got the Russo brothers back. They're doing things. But here's the thing: these are the same people that screwed it up. These are the same people that were preaching to us about. I think Feige said that, there's, the Marvel is going to be more, be mostly female. But it's not that you went mostly female. You went in a way that you brought activists in to create movies that were about preaching and not about story. And for 4 or 5 years, 6 years. And then after people watched your, phases 4, 5, and 6, they said, we don't like it. It's garbage. Here's why it's garbage. You turned around and you were okay for people to go and say horrible things to people because they didn't like your movies. And now you're turning around and you're saying, okay, we're sorry. We're going to bring back Old Man Iron Man. We're going to bring everyone back. We're sorry. We're going to spend $750 million on Doomsday. We're sorry. We're sorry. You know, really? You want fans to come around back to Doomsday after 4, 5, 6 years of being shat on? You didn't think that fans were giving their real opinion? They were misogynist, racist. But now you want them all to come back because you think you've what happens after Secret Wars? Do you fall into the same crap that you gave us before? What happens after Secret Wars? And apparently Secret Wars is going to be 2 movies now, right? That's what I heard. A couple of friends in LA told me that's going to be, they're busting it up into 2 movies. Look, it's probably not a bad idea with the kind of money you're spending. Break it up into 2 movies, trying to get more revenue out of it for Doomsday or Secret Wars. Probably should have done that and should have made it a trilogy. Trilogies work well. It's been proven. Like, trilogies work well. Lord of the Rings, Dune. I'm looking forward to Dune this year. Ooh, Dune. Give me Denis Villeneuve. Give me Dune 3. Dune is easily... if Dune 3, the third one comes out like 1 and 2, it will rank right up there, 1 and 2 with Lord of the Rings as my favorite trilogies of all time. When is Dune 3 coming out? December 18th. So it's good. Wow. Oh, right. It's right. It's going out there with right around the time Doomsday, right? And then Supergirl. When was Supergirl again? June 26th. I mean, there's a lot of big movies. There's a lot of big budget movies coming out this year. A lot of big budget movies. If Hollywood does not make their money back, even if, look, they at least have to make 80% back on what they spent. They could pull in 20%. Hollywood could make 20% of the money back on CDs, and then, you know, probably the next over 1 or 2 years of distribution, they can make that money back, and then they're making money off these properties. Infinitum, right? For the next 10 years, they're going to be making a lot of money. But you got to make at least, I mean, this has been a terrible year for Marvel. Terrible. If you look at Captain Black America, Captain Falcon America, however you want to go, you got to do better. You got to do better. The Thunderbolts, really? You thought that was good movie? Really? Hey, this is the same company. This is the same company that when Pirates of the Caribbean, the Black Pearl one, this is the same company that thought Johnny Depp, when they saw the dailies from Johnny Depp, they thought Johnny Depp was ruining Pirates of the Caribbean in the first movie. They thought they were ruining. Johnny Depp was ruining the movie. And they were looking at firing him, putting the movie on hold, not even releasing it. Because they thought Johnny Depp, when they saw the dailies, right? So basically the dailies are when you do the scenes, you do everything that day that was shot. And of course, now it's really easy to see the dailies because it's digital, although you have to render it and it's pretty, it's a lot of big files. But you can get, you can get these dailies, and the execs will get them. And when it came to Pirates of the Caribbean, they wanted to fire Johnny Depp. They thought he's ruined it. It's over. It's very well known. I think that a few were vocal about it. And then when it was released, when they released it, Disney was like, "Oh, of course, that's our man. That's our guy, Johnny Depp. We knew it all along." No, you didn't. Disney execs are some of the stupidest people. Look, I know I say this, as a screenwriter, like, blowing up the bridge. Fuck it, right? Fuck it. These execs are some of the worst people who have no clue what a good movie is, or what good, most overused word, storytelling. Everyone says storytelling. It's good storytelling. It's good storytelling. Have you ever written a story? Screenplay? Have you read screenplays? You know, these execs use this word storytelling. It's all about storytelling. What the fuck do you know about storytelling? You're an exec. You don't know shit. I mean, I took English. I took creative writing. I've written screenplays. Many screenplays. Won a lot of awards. So at least I got a little bit of street cred. Bob Iger was a weatherman. All right? Bob Iger was a weatherman. You fucking... This weatherman says this is a really good movie. Wish, right? He loved Wish. Bob Iger loved Wish. He did. 50th anniversary. It was one anniversary. Something it was came 100th anniversary. 100 wasn't it 100th anniversary? They released Wish. Do you remember Wish? You don't remember these movies. Like you see them, you're like, I gotta name, but what happened? I go, oh yeah, right. Guys, The Expanse. If you are looking for good sci-fi, I watched The Expanse back when it first came out. A little bit. I got partway through the first season, and I started watching it again because I gotta watch this thing again because it was always so good, right? I mean, I'm almost back through the first season of The Expanse. This is like it's even that much better because of all the crap we're getting in today's TV. Go back and watch The Expanse. The characters are good. The casting is fantastic. The dialogue is on the money. Like one of the look, take it from a screenwriter. I've always the dialogues in my screenplays and my TV script pilots have always been some of the best. I've always worked hard on dialogue. Dialogue is supposed to do heavy lifting for its own purpose. Starfleet Academy, Starfleet Academy is literally some of the absolute worst dialogue you could ever see. This is something that should be put at universities for creative writing courses. This is what bad screenwriting is. And let the kids read it. Let the university kids read it. This is what shit writing is. This is how this is. People don't say, when it comes to a screenplay, when it comes to a TV or it comes to a movie, people don't talk like they talk in real life, right? They talk like it's a movie. It's very different. When you talk in a movie, you got to say the exact things. If you're talking about character development, how many scenes do you have to develop a character in a movie? You maybe get 2 or 3 to really develop a character in a movie. Everything, every word. Good screenwriters understand that every single word a character says is important. Some of the worst things a character could ever say, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? The worst screenplays, every time you see a screenplay and the characters always ask, are you okay? Are you okay? You don't ask somebody, you show somebody. So the character just looks over and they see someone bleeding in pain and, their intestines hanging out. Are you okay? Really? You're asking? Show, don't tell. Again, it's a cliche, but believe me, it's hard to do. If you want a great example, I always say this example. Watch the first 5 minutes of John Wick, the first one. You literally get show, don't tell in a way that is so rarely done in a movie. I'm blurry again. I got blurred. Shit, there we go. I think it's this black shirt. You know what? I'm going to buy a new chair because it's the black on black. Right? It's the black on black, and it's not picking me up. It's not picking me up. It's like I'm losing it. You're kind of a big deal, Dano. What the fuck, Dano? Where'd you get that from? I don't know if I'm a big deal. I'm not a big deal. Pamela, come on. Jeez. But the movie industry is very interesting. I tell you. I mean, having 20 years in Los Angeles. I love writing. I love screenwriting. I have so many ideas that are like I got like the first 10 pages done of so many ideas, and of course, I don't have all the time that I have no time to write these screenplays. None. With everything that I'm doing with YouTube, and I have the science channel and then this channel. And this channel I'm putting a lot more. I'm doing lives throughout the week, just starting it up, all this stuff. It's like, okay, it looks like my screenwriting might have to take. But it's when you get ideas for screenwriting, you got to get them down, right? So with my software, and it is probably one of the most frustrating things that I see from a screenwriting perspective. And I see the garbage that goes in, and knowing so many great, talented, I know a lot of talented screenwriters, a lot of them, that aren't getting work in Los Angeles. And I don't know how these people get work in the business. I don't know. It is absolutely a shocker to me how some people, how some of these writers get work in Los Angeles on some of these movies. How did the writers for Starfleet Academy, Alex Kurtzman, oh my God, he greenlit Section 31. He greenlit this piece of, I don't even know what it is. What do you want to call Starfleet Academy? What do you want? Put whatever expletive you want in there. What is even more shocking to me is that on websites like Rotten Tomatoes, you can have an 88% critic score because they're basically paid shills. If they were real critics, and they knew anything about creating a movie, writing it, directing it, filming it, lighting it, instead of being a paid shill, little brown bags of money being transferred. Or, the old, give us a good review. You can have the copy a week in advance. As long as you write something nice, you can have it in advance for your YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the way it is. That's how you get 88%. And then the fan score, of course, is 42%, 40%. What is it on Star Trek Academy? It was down to 4.3. Where is it? It was down to 4.3. I gave it a 3 out of 10, by the way. I gave it 3. So I think this is absolute 4.3 out of 10 now. 4.3. This is I think that's still too much. I think this is the only reason that this, take Star Trek out of this thing. Take Star Trek Academy, the Starfleet Academy. Take that intellectual property, the power of that brand, of the Star, take it out of this and make this as a standalone TV show called Space Academy. Something like that, right? It will be the only thing that's giving it a 4.3 is the Star Trek. Take Star Trek out, it's a 3.3. And that's where I basically got my score from. I'm not going to give it an extra score because it has the intellectual property derived from 5 or 6 decades of other people. That's the real tragedy of all this. You get 5 or 6 decades. I said 5 or 6 decades. What the hell am I? What am I thinking? It's 5 or 6 decades of Star Trek that has created, thousands of people have created this, just like Star Wars. Just like Star Wars, thousands of people have created the intellectual property. And you take Marvel, you got even more than that, right? Marvel is even thousands upon thousands. Decades of people that put heart, sweat, and tears into building these franchises, only to have these people come in and absolutely eviscerate it. Eviscerate it. It's one of the saddest things. It's a sad state of Hollywood. It is. The Radford Studios. I don't know if you guys know the Radford Studios. What used to be the CBS studios. One of the biggest studios. Seinfeld was recorded there in Los Angeles. I know them very well, having spent 2 decades in Los Angeles. They shut down. They're done. Bankrupt. Poof. Gone. That's one of the biggest, most, famous studios in Los Angeles. The Radford Studios. Bankrupt in Los Angeles. So the biggest TV shows ever, some of the biggest TV shows ever were filmed there. Gone, out of business. And it's just more and more and more. It's just a bigger, bigger trend. Where this ultimately goes, where does cinema ultimately go? Where does TV ultimately go? One of the worst things that can happen is Netflix buying Warner. That is one of the worst things. Even if it's passed, look, the EU is not going to pass it. The European Union will not pass that merger. There's no way. And thank God, I'm not a religious man. Thank God for the EU. They will kibosh. At least the EU will say you got to get rid of Harry Potter, you got to get rid of Lord of the Rings, you got to get rid of Dune, you got to get rid of all these great properties, sell them off to somebody else. And you got to get rid of HBO. Then you can buy it. And then Netflix will go, well, now we don't want it. Well, exactly. Netflix purchase of Warner Brothers. Why does David Zaslav and the board want that? Because they're going to make a fuck of a lot of money. They changed the contracts 2.5 months ago, right? The board changed Zaslav's contract to include a buyout where Zaslav will make $600-700 million. You want that buyout to happen if you're going to make $600-700 million? Of course they do. Of course they do. So I don't know. Where cinema goes, it's not good. And I know a lot of people, like I say, having spent so many 20 years in Los Angeles, I know a lot of people that are in just terrible shape. They've left the business. They're driving Uber, they're working in restaurants, they've gone on to something else, trying to find anything else to try and sustain themselves with because the business is done. Like I said, Radford Studios, Google it, Radford Studios, out of business, gone. Poof, poofies. It's all poofies. That's the way it is. It's a tough world. And AI, the way that's going to put so many, VFX people out of business. There's a lot of change. People say that AI is going to put a lot of writers out of business. If it does, it will create horrible scripts. And you can easily argue that Starfleet Academy was written by AI. Easily. It is such shite garbage. If an actual human being wrote Starfleet Academy and it wasn't AI, I'd be shocked. That is just shit writing. Bewitched. That was Bewitched, right? That was Bewitched. So that's it, guy. I think we're going to call it a night. And we're going to be back next week. 1 week from tonight on POPRAGEOUS Live. It's Saturday night. We're also going to be on Sunday night. We're going to right after the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It's only I think it's only a 31-minute episode on Sunday night. We're going to go live right after it. Right after Night of the Seven Kingdoms on Sunday night. We're going to be live. Then I'll probably do a couple of live shows during the week next week, and then back on Thursday night for Starfleet Academy, but right around 8 o'clock Eastern, and then back one week from tonight on POPRAGEOUS Live. It's Saturday night. My name is Danny Alex. Thank you for joining me this week. I will see you next week, and I hope. Actually, I'll see you tomorrow night. Actually, tomorrow night is Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I will see you tomorrow night on POPRAGEOUS. Thanks, guys. Cheers. You're still there.
Yeah, baby. Why are you not in the train?
I'm sorry, baby. I didn't know it was your turn.
Fuck you. Look at me.
Yes.
What's wrong with being sexy? I mean, there's no sex. Yes. These go to 11.
Does that mean it's louder?